Hey, what's going on? I'm excited to take you on this journey down what we call permission-based selling, right? It's all about stop cold calling people, stop harassing people, and start giving value to the marketplace and only talk to people who want to talk to you. I know that that's like against what most salespeople train about, and that's what most sales trainers talk about, cold calling and prospecting and all this text. I'm going to show you a modern way, an easier way, a way that you can do 20, 30, maybe even 100 times the amount of volume and the amount of prospecting as anybody that's making cold calls or door knocking or any of those old school things. So the whole permission-based selling system is based around people actually giving you permission to sell them something. Right? I mean, how awesome is that if someone's like, hey, yes, I'd like to actually hear your sales pitch and learn more about your product. Think of how much that will increase the quality of your life, right? A lot of salespeople struggle because here's what happens. We make 100 dials to get one person on the phone, and that one person may or may not be a success, right? Well, what happens to those 99 dials? Those were failures. And whether you realize that psychologically what goes on in the back of your head is you realize that you're consistently failing. Matter of fact, 99% of the time you're failing. Hell, 86% of all phone calls go unanswered, so there's an 86% failure rate by default. And so I want you to think about that for a second, right? Understand that that's what's going on in your psychological, on your subconscious and your psyche and everything else, that, hey, you continue to fail 99 times in a row and you get one victory. That's why salespeople lose their hair. That's why salespeople create substance abuse problems. That's why salespeople have a lot of the stress and things that we do, is because they're doing things the hard way. And I want to take this program. I'm excited that you're here. I'm so excited that you're here. But I want to take this program and change your perspective on sales, show you what's out there, and teach you how that you can operate better, you can have a better way of prospecting, a less stressful environment to sell your stuff in, and you can escalate yourself to the top only talking to people who will actually give you permission to actually pitch them. So, hey, who's for that, right? Raise your you're the only person watching the video. Raise your hand, right? Like, raise your hand. You ready for this? You ready for this? Because this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you through this program, and I'm going to show you start to scratch, like how to generate a lead, right? A lead that says, yes, I'd like to hear more about your product, and then how to talk to that lead. And then in the event that you don't close them, which happens, right? Like most sales don't close on the first contact, right? We all like to be like, we the one call closer and all that good stuff. It doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes yes, sometimes not, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to follow up with them and actually continue to earn their permission to follow up with them until they're ready to buy. That's the cool thing. A lot of people tell you just got to be persistent. You go out and you get cease and desist, and you just call and call, and you call 10 times a day till they can't run away from you. And you just try to put your balls on their head and teabag them, right? Like that's not what you do. Okay, what you try to do is you earn their permission, and they actually want to follow. They want you to follow up with them. They look forward to you following up with them, and they actually are cordial when you follow up with them, and tell others how awesome it is when you follow up with them. Like how awesome would that be? Raise your hand, right? Yes, that would be awesome. Yes, would you like that? Would you like that? I see you right there, not raising your hand. Raise your hand, right? So hey, here's the thing. We're gonna go on to the next module, and I'm gonna get this thing started off all from scratch. And I want you to know this: when you use this program, don't skip around. You may see the title of one of the modules, or you may see the title of one of the videos, and you might be like, I'm just like, I'm not buying it. I already know this stuff, whatever, right? I'm just going to ask you to leave your ego at the door and follow me through this in chronological order. In the order that they're numbered back here in this program, they're put together, these videos and these modules in this order for a specific reason. And I feel like if you miss one, you could be leaving out a massive chunk of information, an important key part of the whole puzzle, and then you wonder why it doesn't work for you, right? So don't do that. Follow it in chronological order, and make sure you start from this beginning, this video, all the way to the end. Don't get halfway through and quit. Let's go on to the next module.